Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey Thee alone and live according to truth. Namaste, good morning, welcome all of you. Today, the topic of discussion will be on work. We will discuss briefly on work. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing some work, but actually Sri Aurobindo will know, according to Sri Aurobindo's message and Sri Aurobindo's philosophy today, exclusively we are discussing on the Sri Aurobindo's right on work, what we have to do, how we have to do, what is should be our attitude, what is the goal of our work, and how it helps, how this work helps in our integral yoga. Everything we have to discuss in a brief manner. Sri Aurobindo speaks of a certain amount of work is necessary for the proper balance of different parts of the being. There are different parts of being in us. So for the proper balance of these different parts of the being, some amount of work is necessary, absolutely necessary. Then comes, when shall we work? Conditional. And what will be the process of work? What will be the way? Sri Aurobindo speaks of, don't fix not time and the way in which the ideal shall be fulfilled. When the speak is that he is using, Sri Aurobindo uses the work, not work, but the ideal. That ideal means work. When you are going, Sri Aurobindo uses the work, ideal shall be fulfilled. So for that, fix not the time and the way. The work and leave time and way to God all-knowing. Everything live at the hands of for the knowledge of the divine. Because with it we can karmenu vedhikarastu mahaphaleshu gadachana. We have to work that power, that purpose, that attitude is there. We have to work. This freedom is given. We have to work only. So the result, it depends upon the divine. So we have to work and leave the result at the hands of the divine. He has to fix and he has to decide at the right time. He has to fix and he has to give everything into her hands. Leave your work's result to its omnipotence. All shall be changed in the God's transfiguring hour. That time must come. For that, for the decision of that work's result, leave everything at the hands of the Divine Mother or near the Divine, so that at the right time, in the transfiguring hour, everything will be changed. All shall be changed in the God's transfiguring hour. Spear on the speaks of, there is one great utility of work, that it tests the nature and the parts of the sadhaka. In the work, there will be the test. Sadhaka is tested. His nature and parts of sadhaka is tested in front of the defects of the outer being, which might otherwise escape him. So there is a test. He has to put the test. He has to appear the test. He has to prove itself. He has to know where the defects and how to process and how to prepare. To work in the calm, ever-widening consciousness is at once a sadhana and a siddhi. Sometimes we are doing sadhana, we have to achieve siddhi. Sri Aurobindo, in one beautiful line, Sri Aurobindo simply quotes and explains, to work in the calm, ever-widening consciousness. Widening consciousness and ever-widening consciousness. Calm, ever-widening consciousness. To work in that ever-widening consciousness is at once a sadhana and a siddhi. For the work, we have to go that process up to that consciousness, calm, ever-widening consciousness that indicates, that implies, that finalizes the sadhana and the siddhi. It is possible to turn life into an act of adoration to the Supreme by the spirit of one's work. Beautiful. It is actually Sri Aurobindo quotes here. It is possible to turn life into an act of adoration. Life into act of adoration can be turned to the Supreme by the spirit of one's work. So there must be the spirit. In which spirit you are working? What is the spirit behind the work? With this, it's possible to turn life towards the act of adoration to the Supreme. There must be no attachment to the work or the result. No laying down of conditions, no condition. No attachment to the work or other way to the result. No claim to possess the power that should possess you. No pride of the instrument. No vanity or arrogance. Nothing will be there. In that spirit, we have to work. That these are the preconditions. With these only, with these spirits, with these decisions, with this attitude, with someone has to, the sadhaka has to progress. Let no demand or insistence creep in to stain the purity of the self-giving and the sacrifice. Two things are self-giving and sacrifice. For that, there must be no demand or insistence to creep in to stain the purity. The purity of self-giving and sacrifice, that must be impure, that must be pure, that must not be impure. So demand and insistence must be absent. They have no place there. Regard yourself as a soul and body created for our service. Just imagine, we are a soul and body. Regard yourself as a soul and body created for our service. One who does all for his sake. Only for the divine we are doing. This is for his self we are doing. There must be no attachment for fruit or no seeking for reward. No attachment. Again and again, Sri Aurobindo speaks, of course, same thing. No attachment, no seeking for reward, no gift. Who leave thy works result to the divine. All shall be changed in the God's transfiguring hour. Must be again. The joy of service and the joy of inner growth works is the sufficient recompense of a selfless worker. When don't try to get pleasure, but actually work to get pleasure. Don't work to get pleasure. Pleasure will come simultaneously with the work. For that you wait. Your work should be such that your attitude shall be such that ultimately pleasure will follow it. Pleasure will come with this working. If you want to be true doer of divine works, your first aim must be to be totally free from all desire and self-regarding ego. No desire, no self-regarding ego must be there. It must be extirpated. Work as if the ideal has to be fulfilled. The ideal where which it was given. The ideal has to be fulfilled swiftly and in thy lifetime. Very good, very beautiful message. Before say no, say I will try. Then give your best so that all can be accomplished, all can be achieved. Then be pessimistic. It must be done. Maybe different between maybe little delayed, but actually it must be accomplished in this lifetime. So instantly aspire and instantly carry out. You have to do, not to do something and go back. It is not for with this mission you have never come. The mission is there. The attainment of God is the sole object of all human effort. With this effort, with this mission we have come, that attainment of God within this lifetime. This is the human effort. Then another thing, whatever is there, that must be done by the nature. The nature does most in him, God the highest. Where nature stops, then the divine will start working. For that, actually, initial phase we have to rise up. We have to ascend and seize the magnet of our difficult ascent. Magnet means we have to become the magnetic substance first. So this magnet, if we are capable of converting ourselves, preparing ourselves as a magnetic into a magnetic substance, this magnet is divine mother, she will pull. But initially condition is there, ascent of she is the magnet of our difficult ascent. Ascent must be there. When this ascent, difficulty in ascent arrives, and if we are eligibility, feeling the eligibility, if we are eligible, we are satisfying the conditions, then if we are magnetic substance, this magnet is the divine mother, she will pull us, magnet of our difficult ascent. Sri Aurobindo speaks of in another thing, fulfilled swiftly and in this lifetime. Persevere as if thou knowest it not to be useless, unless the purchased by 1,000 years or of labor. Anytime it can happen. God must come. Man has the ability. He has got the freedom to withdraw, but the divine has never done so, will never do so. So be prepared. Anytime he can come. So if your base is ready, if the everything is ready, if you have got ardent aspiration, if you have got unshakable faith, naturally the ideal must be fulfilled swiftly and in this any lifetime, in thy lifetime also. It is through work that one can detect and progressively get rid of the feelings and movements that are contrary to the yogic ideal, those of the ego. Some ideals arrive us, they disturb us, they are confined with, they are actually intermixed with the perverted with the ego or the yogic, the contrary to those are contrary to the yogic ideal. When through the work one can detect and progressively get rid of this ego or these powers that are standing contrary to the yogic principle, they are yogic ideal, they are standing or resisting. By turning his action Godwards, the life of man best and most surely begins to become divine. By turning your actions, his actions Godward, every time we are acting, but we don't know where, for what we are coming, for whom we are working, for ourselves Swartha, for others Niswartha, for another type of karma, it is actually a consecrated work, Nivedita karma, and another is also only the divine work. So we don't know which layer, for what we are working and in which layer we are. But it is a mental phenomenon when Sri Aurobindo speaks of when the psychic grows through a certain inner attitude behind the work. The growth of the psychic is only possible through the inner attitude behind the work. Behind the work, what is the attitude and what is the inner attitude? With this purified inner attitude, then your psychic grows. By turning your action Godwards, not towards the human, not to the to ourselves. Mother has a beautiful observation. We know, don't try to please yourself. Don't try to please others. Try to please only the divine. In that atmosphere, in that case, by turning his action Godwards, the life of man best and most surely begins to become divine. When the work, your action has turned to the divine, then life begins to become the divine. The life divine, what we are anxious for which we are aspiring and adventuring. Yoga through work is the easiest and more effective way to enter into the stream of this sadhana. This sadhana, Sri Aurobindo speaks of yoga through work. Yoga through works is the easiest and most effective way to enter into the streams of sadhana. Work is necessary, and in this yoga work is necessary. Different type of yoga you have seen: karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, so many things have given. We have seen in the previous initial moments till now. Sri Aurobindo speaks of here his integral yoga, supramental yoga. For this work, Sri Aurobindo has never hidden anything from us. Work is done, the maximum work is provided, work has been traced or given the maximum importance. Mother speaks of, let us work as we pray, for indeed work is the body's best prayer for the divine. As we pray, so we have to pray with the body. Work is the body's best prayer for the divine. For Mother also quotes here in many occasions, work done in contact is divine, or is meditation. Meditation we are doing as we are controlling mind, life and body unidirectionally, single-handedly, in a harmoniously we are sitting. Mother speaks of this meditation, it has meditation, concentration, it has got values, but work is better, it gives more better result. So Mother quotes before us, work done in true spirit is meditation. Again Mother's word is true spirit. Work done in contact is meditation. So again and again Mother pursues and Mother advises, let us work as we pray, for indeed work is the body's best prayer for the divine. So work is a part of yoga and it gives the best opportunity for calling down the presence. Work is part of the yoga and gives the best opportunity to calling down his presence, light, power into the vital and its activities. So it increases also the field and opportunities of the surrender. Surrender simultaneously through work, surrender goes. Thank you. Vande Mataram.